Good morning. My name is John Coletta. I'm 54 years old. I'm the managing partner and executive chef of Quartino Ristorante here in Chicago. I live here in Chicago with my wife and 2 children. And today I'm going to surprise my wife with this fabulous luncheon. We're in midsummer and we've got wonderful fruits and vegetables available. In fact, this morning I got up early, went to the farmer's market, and I came back with some wonderful melons and heirloom tomatoes, some strawberries. Went to the fish market, grabbed some scallops. We're gonna have a fabulous lunch. It's a great time for my wife to take a break. Our children are at camp. She's out with her friends. When she gets back, we're gonna put a great smile on her face. Now, the easiest thing you can do is obviously make a smoothie, but I love Prosecco, and in particular, I love all kinds of Proseccos, whether they come from Valdobadeni or Conegliano or from Franciacorta, which is in Lombardia. But you can see that all the melons have been, seeds have been removed, the skin has been removed. There's absolutely no waste. You know, you can make the argument, well, you know, these melon balls are very wasteful. In fact, they're not, because we've used every bit of this. So we take this melon, we put this in the blender. Now you can do this obviously with strawberries. In autumn you can do it with grapes. I love this great cap which comes from Carpene and Malvolti. And now we're going to put some Prosecco in here, and look at that. And this is simple, and I mean ultra simple. Now, if you want to add a little bit more, which I'm going to, I like it not quite so thick, a little bit thinner than most, because I want to taste the Prosecco. I really enjoy the fruit, but I enjoy the Prosecco even more. Okay, and that should do it. Now, as you can see, I've got this wonderful cheese here. This is a pecorino dolce, and let's see how this is. Okay, look at that. Now, that's a glass of summer. What we're going to do, these are some brandy wine tomatoes. We found some purple Cherokees. There was just an incredible amount. And you know, you can only have these tomatoes in July or August. So I've taken these tomatoes and I've cut them in half. And what we're going to do is we're going to arrange these. Look at these. I mean, when you open this tomato up, I mean, everyone loves a tomato, and who doesn't? But when you can have these every day of the year, especially in summer, it makes for an incredible light luncheon. You can use this obviously for dinner in the evening. Now we're going to put this, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of sea salt. I like using sea salt because it brings out the flavors that are inside of the tomato, and these tomatoes are exceptional. Now this is an extra virgin vintage olive oil that a good friend of mine brought over from Italy, and in fact this is from Abruzzo, and I have a tremendous passion for extra virgin olive oils. Italy is one of the few countries that has over 800 different varieties of olives, so each region produces its own incredible extra virgin olive oil. Now I love to taste the flavor of the tomato, and we're going to arrange this ever so simply in the center. We want to make sure that we spend more of our time eating and less of it cooking, and that's what it's all about. Now we're going to top, we got this wonderful baby arugula, and this time of the year it is really peppery. And when you can have that contrast of pepper and the sweetness found in every one of those heirloom tomatoes, makes for an amazing food experience. And especially a light, quick lunch. You know, we don't have time at home to cook as much as we'd like to, especially I don't, because I'm never home. There's some fiore di latte, and fiore di latte is a cheese made from cow's milk, very similar to a mozzarella. We'll put that on top. We can never have enough olive oil. And this is the first course of an amazing lunch. This is another great light summer luncheon preparation. And it consists of 3 ingredients. I know you find that hard to believe, it's only 3 ingredients. We've got these wonderful scallops that come from Nantucket. These have never been treated. Incredible. Some wonderful English cucumbers and some mint. And what I've done is I've turned the cucumbers into spaghetti. I wrote a cookbook on pasta, and I thought it would be interesting just to do it based on vegetables and the importance of doing that. Okay, and as you can see, I'm cutting this into this spaghetti, okay? Now this comes right over here, and try not to use, the important thing is try not to use cucumbers that have seeds, and as you can see, I've shaved them on this Japanese mandolin. Okay, now we're gonna step over here to the stove, and as you can see, the scallop's been lightly marinated in some extra virgin olive oil and Italian parsley. So I'm gonna come right here to the stove, and obviously I'm gonna turn the gas on, okay? We begin with some wonderful extra virgin olive oil, and again, this is some superior olive oil, and we can never have enough olive oil in my opinion. And as that's heating up, now we're going to put these scallops into the pan. I love cast iron pans. They, you know, most people don't enjoy them. I really, really enjoy having them, and they really make cooking a pleasure. Now we'll season this again with some sea salt, and again we'll, you know, looking to bring the natural flavors that are found. Look at this, okay? I'm gonna reach back here. We're going to take this cucumber spaghetti, and look at that. It's gonna get tossed in there. This dish takes minutes, if not seconds, but that's such a wonderful preparation. We'll add now some mint to the cucumbers. And I love the philosophy of hand tearing things. It makes it look so much like you're at home. At home, you're not gonna make these fine julienne and all of this kind of stuff for the simple reason it's too technical. We're going to look at those cucumbers. The scallops are nicely browned. Look at this. This takes absolutely no time. You can do this at home. In fact, if my children were here, they would be helping me do this, which they do more times than not. And look at that. We put this wonderful cucumber spaghetti, and we pour over the natural juices. Look at that. This is an amazing summer dessert. I found these wonderful strawberries at the farmer's market this morning, and I couldn't believe how flavorful they were. I'm gonna very simply take some sugar, drizzle this over on top, let these macerate a little bit. Then we're going to make a zabaglione. This is a traditional or classical zabaglione pot. However, most people don't have those things, so I've taken some egg yolks. We're going to add a little bit of granulated sugar, maybe just a touch more, and we're going to whisk this together. The difference in using this pot is that it'll come up a lot faster, but most people won't have access to it or able to do that, okay? And I'm going to come over here right now, look at this, and we're going to add a little bit of marsala. You can present this in a variety of manners. You can layer this into a glass. You can do 100 different presentations. You can add some sugar, an additional amount of sugar over it, and it can turn into a nice glaze, okay? And you can see, this is almost like making a classic hollandaise, with the exception is we're going to use marsala rather than clarified butter, okay? We take these strawberries that have been macerating, and we just place them ever so liberally onto the plate. And they don't need to be so uniform. And in fact, I prefer that they're not. I sort of like the flavors of foods when they're not so, look at this. This is wonderful. When they're not so, look, we spoon this over, when they're uneven. I like the contrast of flavors and textures incredibly. So there we go. And we have strawberries with zabaglione. We are ready to have a fabulous lunch. We've got a great bellini made from cantaloupe. We've got these wonderful heirloom tomatoes, these fabulous scallops, and the finale are these strawberries that are full of flavor from Michigan. We are ready for an amazing lunch.